Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, on this episode of the Bullet Points this morning, we have got to dive into an opinion piece from CNN, written by none other than Shannon Watts, gun control advocate extraordinaire, founder of Moms Demand Action, and she is holding no punches today. We have the full litany of gun control talking points. We've got toxic masculinity, we've got epidemic of gun violence, we have gun lobby at fault, all the goodies. And everything is being listed in the description box below for your review, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one, because this is one you need to send out, because this is what we're fighting every single day. Now, if you are here for 2A News or 2A Advocacy or furthering our rights, you are in the right place, and we would love to earn that subscription. So if it's something you see some value, thank you so much for your consideration. Make sure that subscription bell is on so you get notified. And now I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor who made this video possible, and then we're going to dive into countering this opinion piece, because, whoa. Now, the sponsor of today's video is SDI. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to repair and upgrade your own guns. If you're looking for a way to take your hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. The online programs at SDI cover armorer courses, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. It's never been a better time to get an education that you can actually use on the job, so what are you waiting for? Visit SDI in the description box below, and thank you to SDI for making this video possible. But now let's dive into this opinion piece, because there's a few things that I've just got to flat out dispel, because she is going with some very serious propaganda. All right, let's get it. As I said, always linked. Opinion. The gun lobby is hell-bent on flooding us with, flooding U.S. with weapons. They've just been dealt a death blow. Have we? Have they? Has the gun industry? Not sure, because she's referring to the bipartisan gun control effort that just passed and became law. Let's see what she's about. CNN. These days, it's impossible to celebrate or even gather in American communities without fear, including places of worship, inside our cars, at grocery stores, the mall, or even in our schools. There was no clearer example of that than the shooting 1 week ago that pierced the sense of collective joy during 4th of July holiday festivities in a town in Highland Park, Illinois. Thanks to the gun lobby's guns everywhere agenda, none of us are safe anywhere. Completely negating the point that Illinois, where that occurred, of her entire point in that little paragraph, is ultimate gun control. Don't mind that. Don't let the facts intervene with your talking points, because you had universal background checks, you had extended wait periods, you had all the goodies, you had required licensing in order to even have a Second Amendment. What else do you want? Which brings up to a very interesting point. It's almost like you just want guns and don't care about common sense safety. But let's continue. A member of the NRA's board of directors recently encapsulated the group's wrong-headed thinking, asserting the view that everyone should be armed anytime and anywhere. The problem is compounded by a combination of supremacist ideologies and a culture of toxic masculinity. What? Okay. So we're going to throw in toxic masculinity. Can we throw in toxic feminism while we're at it? Just throwing that out there. But anyway, toxic is toxic. I don't care if you have to pin on an individual people group or, in this case, sex, which seems kind of sexist. But anyway, let's get past that. The whole thing here of guns anywhere at any time is a bad thing. We're defending ourselves. Just like when you call the police officers and they bring a gun to defend you, it's the exact same thing, except we're doing it ourselves. The difference is not what the end result is. The difference is who's doing it. And that's a big thing, because the left over here says, oh, we can't touch it. Someone else will do it. While we take it on our own and we're like, no, we'll defend ourselves. Again, all of these things are happening in gun control zones, but we can't talk about that. Let's continue. The gun industry has played a major role in this crisis by marketing weapons of war to the masses and avoiding any accountability. PLCAA plug right there. And less than 3 weeks ago, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a dangerous decision. Out of line with the majority of public opinion, making it easier to carry loaded weapons in public in New York State, including the kinds of weapon used to slaughter innocent bystanders in Highland Park. The Supreme Court case she's referring to is the Bruin case. Had nothing to do with ARs, had nothing to do with assault weapons, had nothing to do with high-powered weapons, high-capacity magazines, nothing. Literally only had to do with the fact that the state cannot tell you can or cannot endorse a right. You have to prove your right to the state. That's a no-no. That's all that it said. But this is gaslighting. This is straight-out manipulation. Let's continue. Oh, I got one more thing, actually. Out of the line of majority of public opinion. Okay, if the public opinion says it's okay to murder someone, does that make it okay? No, it doesn't. The left and gun controllers, particularly in this case, like to play this little game of, see, everyone thinks it. They go with the bandwagon approach. The problem with the bandwagon approach is, have you ever seen Pinocchio? Like that little animated film where everyone's doing the wrong thing, so it must be the okay thing? No. It's accountability and responsibility. That's not really about what we're talking about here. But let's keep going, because the Supreme Court, that whole job is to uphold the Constitution, that guiding founding document situation we got going on. Despite the reckless behavior of some lawmakers and judges, the American public, including law enforcement, opposes this lawlessness. Of course we do. But the gun lobby and its enablers are hell-bent on removing even the most basic gun safety measures. I'm just going to show you what the NSSF, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, has done recently, more so than any government program. Distributed more gun locks than any government program. Has programs to teach gun shops about straw purchases and works continuously with ATF. In fact, the ATF, the reason they have a different director now is because the existing guy was too close to the gun industry because he worked with them. He didn't make them an opponent or an enemy. Do you understand what they're doing? You must ostracize, you must isolate, you must target the enemy. You can't work with it for a common good because then that gives them credence. Do you see what they're doing? This is all manipulation. And I've got one more point for you. Check this out. In the coming months, we will work to pass a prohibition on the sale of weapons of war in Illinois. Ooh, AR ban coming in Illinois? Shannon Watts just said it was. We will work to ensure the funding provided in the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act is used to implement red flag laws, and that families and law enforcement know how to use them. Shannon, note for you. Just so you know, the existing red flag laws in the 19 states across the nation that you've so proudly put forward, they don't qualify for this money because they don't have due process. So, might want to tell your leftist organizers that they're going to have to rewrite their red flag laws in order to get access to that money, and you have to add due process, including facing your accuser, including the right to refute any kind of evidence. All of those things are not built into the existing red flag law system because there is no due process. So you might want to throw that out there when you're pitching this to all of your blue states because they're not going to like that too much. But that's what I've got for you. Let me know what you guys think of this comment in the comments field below. I will see you on the next one. Until then, I'm Braden. See you later.